Welcome to today's video. In this video, it's going to be a long one, but it's worth watching to the end. It is me talking about my journey to realizing my worth in the bar and restaurant industry and how I took my mental health more seriously. There is going to be a part 2 because I do realize there's a lot that I have not said, but it is worth watching until the end. I do hope you watch it. Please like, subscribe, click all the things, and I will see you at the end of the video. Peace out. Lost my job, came home mad, got a hug and a kiss, and that's too bad. She said, I can go to work until you find another job. I like the sound of that, watch TV and take long naps. Go from a hard-working dad to being Mr. Mom. Well, things don't always go the way they seem in movies, books, and songs. So, back in December, I left a really good paying job for what I do. So, I am a cook by trade. I've busted my back to get to where I'm at now, and I've done it the hard way. I didn't go to school. I went to the school of life, and I've learned how to cook from watching my mom make spaghetti sauce when I was a kid to doing culinary class in high school. And then when I turned 18, I got my first job in the restaurant industry and worked my way up from dishwasher to kitchen manager. And one day I will own my own bar, I hope. But I walked away from a really good job where I was making $45,000 a year. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, especially in today's economy with bills and everything else skyrocketing. But it was really good with making sure that bills were paid. It was consistent because it was salaried, and I didn't have to worry, other than my ever-occurring anxiety. But that's just a different thing. But I walked away from being a kitchen manager at a popular establishment. I'm just gonna be vague about this because I don't want to name the place specifically. And if you know where that place was, do not comment or say anything. I want to be as vague as possible. But I walked away. The place had been sold to new owners that really didn't know much about owning and running a bar, which honestly, I don't think that's the main issue, because you can go into something and bust your ass to be the best owner, operator, whatever you can't be, and be successful. And I do think in time, they will find their way of being successful with the establishment. There's going to be a lot of growing pains for them, and I do feel like there are certain things that are going to be a rude awakening if something happens, but all in all, I do wish them success with their establishment. But that being said, the place was sold to them from someone else that was a very successful business owner with this establishment. And a lot of, I don't know if it was self-piled, I guess, or if it was them piling things on me, which I don't really think. And I'm not sure if my dog is down here now. He is. Hi, Rolo. Kimmy. Hi. 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 Down. Down. but there seemed to be a lot of pressure added on to me because I instantly became kitchen manager. Nobody taught me how to be kitchen manager. I was just basically put into that position because the former kitchen manager had left. Now, there are certain things that I was doing already because I had taken on responsibility over the years so that I can learn how to do things. Well, there was one thing I never did because I'm not good with math, I'm not good with calculations and stuff, which is highly unfortunate because it's something you need to be a kitchen manager. But I'm not good at food costs. I'm not good at figuring out that stuff. So the former kitchen manager did that for me. I didn't have to worry about it. Did I do ordering? Yes. Did I come up with my own recipes? Yes. I mean, he came up with a good portion of them already, so I didn't need to fix what wasn't broken. But I didn't have to worry about the financial and mathematical part of it. So when I do own a bar, I'm teaming up with someone that can do that stuff. Maybe my soon-to-be wife, she'll run that stuff, or we'll bring somebody on to do that stuff because I'm just not good with it. But I was required to do that. I was required to do a lot of stuff that I didn't have to do before, and it seemed all of a sudden, it seemed to pile on because I was also helping with the front of house and helping the owners ease into their roles as new owners, and it just seemed like a lot. And over the year, because it took a year to get me to where I had to leave, like, just it kept piling on. My mental health just kept deteriorating because I was finally realizing my worth, and what I was getting paid was not what I was worth. And my will to want to do things diminished. I used to love going into working at that establishment to the point where, and I get how illegal this is, but I would work 18-hour days and then sleep at the establishment just so I could wake up early the next day and do another 18 plus hours. Because I loved working there that much. I believed in the business that much, and I wanted to own that business myself someday and make it into what I know could be an even more profitable business. But that would also require making massive improvements and changes. But anyway, there's part of me that still misses working in this place because I had, in a way, I built myself a cushion where I could do what I wanted in a way. Like, obviously there was rules to live by, but I could do what I wanted. And I hope the kitchen manager that is there now, they are killing it. I hope that they're killing it. I hope they changed and are not using a couple of my recipes, but I hope that they're killing it because I believe that they are built to be in the position that they're in. And even though I haven't talked to this person in a year, and I kind of ghosted them after, just because I felt horrible for leaving them in that position without proper training or anything. They were a friend to me, and I do miss some of our conversations, hanging out while doing prep and listening to podcasts. A podcast in which I haven't listened to since leaving, just because it's just not the same listening to it and not having that person to kind of talk about it with and bounce ideas off of with. And anyway, but I left a nearly dream job because of my mental health, because I had a nervous breakdown. It got to the point where I was going in and my anxiety would start before I got on the bus to go into work. I lived and breathed this place for a long time. I wanted it to succeed, and I wanted to succeed with it. But at the end, my anxiety and my mental health was so bad that I didn't care anymore. And I took an opportunity to leave and not look back. It was December of last year, and I was on the way to my fiance's family's place out of town, and the owners told me, you can't go because you already took X amount of time off earlier in the year, which to a point I do understand, but this was a family thing that I needed to take because it was the first time meeting some of my fiance's family, because like we're getting married and I needed to meet this person before the wedding, or else it's kind of a weird thing, right? But I had a breakdown. I mentally broke down, and I emailed them on the road out of town. Like I was already an hour or two away, and I'm like, this is my immediate resignation, and I hope you accept my resignation as of this moment. Which they did, and in hindsight was probably my lowest moment quitting a job, because I've quit a couple jobs before, but I did it properly. This was not proper. All in all, I want to say, if you are a cook or a server or you work in a food service industry, take your mental health seriously, because mental health is a very important issue that needs to be talked about more in the industry. And if not, then a lot more talented, amazing cooks or servers are going to die, because there have been a couple of famous chefs that have taken their own lives, Anthony Bourdain being one of the biggest, because this industry is hard. This industry is so freaking hard. And it's not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of good that can come from the industry. There really is. And there is a lot of places that take care of their cooks and their servers, and even their dishwashers they take care of. And I'm trying to not start crying, because this is something that I do feel very strongly about. But there's even been some local cooks that have taken their own lives just because their mental health has deteriorated so much from there's probably external reasons as well, but one of the reasons is being a cook. I used to be friends with another cook, and I know she had a nervous breakdown, and she went through hell, and she was a very successful cook. She ended up being the general manager for like a pancake place that opened up here, and she created the menu. She was a big part of the reason why that place boomed when it first opened. We used to be good. We used to be decent friends because we used to live together and stuff. I was a horrible roommate, but I hope she's doing well. Her and her now husband, I think they got married. But yeah, being a cook is hard. So if you are in the bar service industry, I need you to take your mental health seriously, and I need you to know your worth, because your worth is a lot more than probably what you're getting paid. If you're in Ontario and you are working 40 hours a week as a cook, you better be making $37,000 to $40,000 a year, if not more. Especially if you're a kitchen manager, I do feel as though you should be making $50,000 a year with benefits. And that's another thing too. Like, our industry, there's no benefits. Like, I understand there's a high turnover rate, I get it. But if you find someone that's lasting you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, give them benefits. Figure out a way to give them benefits. Because they are lifers. They will bend over backwards for you, and you need to treat them like they are family, if not better than family in some situations. Now, I get it. You can pay into your own benefits. You can do this, you can do that. Shut up. I'm sorry. If you are an owner that thinks that, and unfortunately I do mean someone that I used to work for, shut up. Give that person benefits. Give that person a reason to want to stay longer. Give that person a reason to want to work harder for you. Because if not, they're going to end up like me and leaving because of the stress and because of the mental health that is deteriorating over time. This was a long rant. And I don't think there's any aim to this other than take care of your mental health. And don't be afraid to leave a good job, even if that job is not good for anybody else, but it is good for you. Leave it. If you feel as though you're being taken advantage of, you're working more than you're worth, and if your mental health is deteriorating. That being said, I have a workout to do. I haven't taken any pre-workout, so that's probably why my focus is out of whack, but I don't have pre-workout. And if you want to help me get pre-workout, there are links down below for my Bucked Up products, my Amazon products, which I don't know if I'm actually getting paid for those Amazon stuff because it's weird. I'm not. Anyway, if you want to support me, there's links down below to support me. Get yourself some free stuff, just pay shipping. But please like, subscribe. I do have a lot more videos coming out, especially in the next month, because one of them is very important because of the new iPhone coming out, and Apple Watch and Apple TV. I don't know if there's a new Apple TV, but it has to do with Apple TV. But yeah, I love you guys. Please take care of your mental health. No job is worth your mental health, ever. Let me say this again. No job is worth your mental health. No job is worth your overall health. Body, mind, spirit, I don't care. No job is worth that. If you are being taken advantage of in some sort of way, that is your cue to walk out that door and not look back. Unless there's a way you can permanently change things for the better in that job, leave and take your mental health seriously. No job is worth you, ever. Know your worth, know how important your mental health is, I've rambled on too much, and you're probably not watching all the way to the end. If you're watching all the way to the end, comment Rolo at the bottom. ROLO. If you've made it to the end of the video. All right? I love you guys. Strive for your own personal greatness. Know your worth. And I will see you in the next one.